Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, AMC stock is up about 8.5% today. Why? And what do you need to know? Well, this is actually pretty exciting. And you really wouldn't think that this would cause an almost 9% rally in AMC stock, but who cares? It's neither here or there. We also had economic data come out. Retail sales, which were much hotter than expectations. Bond yields are soaring today. Stocks recovered a lot off of the lows. What's going to happen into the end of the trading? How am I positioning myself in this market? All of that and much more here in this video, including the option activity from AMC stock today. We're going to analyze the option flow. Are people bullish? Are people bearish? Is this just a fake out jump in AMC? And then as well as that, go over the Ortex data, guys. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. So first things first, AMC stock is up 8.5% today. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Why is AMC stock up 8.5% today? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the analyst. Eric Handler from Roth MKM increased his price target from 50 cents to $5. Yeah, AMC's at $10 per share. This caused a almost 9% jump in AMC stock so far here today. It could be lower, it could be higher. Who knows? By the time the end of the day closes, or by the time you guys even see this video about a half an hour or so from now, things can look different. That's always a possibility. But as of right now, it's having a very bullish reaction to AMC. I think the bottom line here, if I really were to bottom line this, AMC is so beaten down, you haven't even started to see the recovery, or a recovery rally, if you will. That usually happens, right? Do you remember Meta back in 2022? It hit under $100 per share. It's now over 300. Well, yeah, it got overly sold and it bounced back. You could argue that Meta has, done some better than not things and has helped out their share price, sure. But regardless, it still would have bounced from $100, most likely, because it was too oversold. That is what you could, think about in regards to AMC as well. Now, put to call ratio, again, something I really like to point out, something I think is one of the most bullish things we currently have going for us right now in AMC. This paves the way for a massive rally. If you take a look at the put to call ratio over, from really January 2021 until the beginning of 2023, put to call ratio was roughly where it is now, up or down, a little bit higher, a little bit lower, about 0.75. Well, ever since the court proceedings started, the put to call ratio jumped big time. There was 2 to 3 times the amount of put activity compared to call activity. It was very hard to get a rally in AMC, and we really didn't see much of a rally at all, going up a little bit right here, a little bit right here. Other than that, you didn't see these big rallies, these big spikes like we had back in April of 2022, as well as August of 2022. You just haven't seen that. And I think something along these lines is what we can expect here. I think that is almost a certain that it's going to happen. Really just a matter of time. And I think the put to call ratio falling like this really allows a rally to happen. It allows the potential of calls to actually have an impact to AMC stock. When the price of the stock goes higher, calls go into the money, and hedge funds, institutions need to buy themselves some AMC stock. If we take a look at the option activity today, you have seen 4 orders totaling $172,000 with a positive order value of 100%. If we take a look at these orders individually, you're looking at a March 15th, 2024 $14 call worth $88,000. January 19th, 2024 $14 call worth $55,000. December 15th, $14 call worth $11,000. And an October 27th, $9.50 call worth about $19,000. So not a crazy, lot of option activity. These are, again, big orders from hedge funds and institutions. The option activity from retail investors is obviously, not this large in these individual trades, but we'll still look at the more retail side of the option activity here today, because I still think that is something we should look at. But the volume today, 65.06% calls, 34.94% put volume. So the calls are definitely outweighing the puts here today, and they really have been. AMC stock now is up 9.38%. Just a pretty crazy move, considering all we got was a price target upgrade from 50 cents to $5. I think it kind of just shows as well, any good news, investors are jumping on it, right? It's just a reason to give AMC a big rally. Now, if we take a look at the option activity as of today, options total volume 130,000. Options held in total open interest 1.51 million. Today, you're looking at calls, about 90,000 calls so far placed. Puts at about 40,000 calls placed. So the call buyers are definitely out. At the ask or above, 44.67 thousand calls were placed. That means people wanted to get into these positions as soon as possible. At the ask or above on the put side, 17,220 puts. So there's definitely a lot more, lot more of a rush to get into AMC calls, obviously, versus the puts. And that's obviously going to happen when AMC stock is up 9% in a single day. Good news is as well, we did hold up above this downtrending line of support. That is really good news. This connects all the way back to, I believe this is January of 2022. So you really wanted to see us find some support here. It looks like we have just the news to give it to us, and that level is right at about $9.15, $9.10, right in that level. You almost perfectly bounced off of that today. You bounced off of it the last 2 days, so it looks like this is probably going to be your low, and at least your support for now, and you could make your way higher from here. The next stop is $15 per share. That's where your 50-day moving average currently is, at $15.41 per share. If you break out above that, that's where you get into some even bigger downside or upside. Your 100-day moving average at about $28 per share, 200-day moving average at $37 per share. So if you break out above 15, that's where things really can get juicy from here. So go ahead and keep that in mind. I do expect a, continued rally from here. I don't think this is over by any means. I think some of the things we've seen in the markets have really put a damper on the aggressiveness of this rally. I believe that we were just about to get those big candles, right? Those 20, 30, 40% candles right before Friday of last week, when we dropped about 13.5% because of that Adam Aaron scandal. It seems like every time AMC stock looks ready for an outsized move to the upside, some big volume, some big activity, you get some form of bad news. It seems like that always happens. Now, if you look at the Ortex data over here, keep in mind, take it with a big grain of salt. You do have a short score of 57, $143.93 million worth of short positions in AMC stock currently. Estimated short interest off free float at 7.8%. Free float out on loan, 11.26%. Shares out on loan, 22.26 million. Days to cover, 1.22. Cost to borrow, 1.79. Utilization of 47.7. So again, take it with a big truckload of salt. If you take a look over here for Ortex's estimates themselves, live short interest off free float at 8.25%. 8.25% short interest. Yeah, these numbers are just not accurate. So it's hard to say which ones are and which ones aren't. But I'll tell you right now, 8.25% short interest, there's no way that is accurate. No way. No way at all. It's just not. Ortex estimates about 16.31 million shares are currently sold short. Again, that number is going to be a lot higher. If you take a look at the cost to borrow fees, that is 1.19% for the cost to borrow average, cost to borrow max 6.17%, cost to borrow minimum about 1.04%. I do think the cost to borrow fees are probably a lot higher in all reality. I don't see you being able to take out a short position in a risky stock like AMC that has actually started to move to the upside, started to get that upside volatility for 1 to 6%. You're probably paying 10 to 20% at minimum to take out that position, because you've started to see some upside from here, right? From the low at $7 per share, you've moved up like 50% from that low. So it doesn't make sense. Cost of borrow fees would be that dang low. Now, if we take a look at earnings that we're going to have today and after hours, you're going to have United Healthcare, Interactive Brokers, JB Hunt, Hancock Whitney, Pinnacle, Wintrust, Omnicom Group. Tomorrow pre-market, ASML, PNG, Morgan Stanley, Abbott, US Bank Corp, Elephants Health, M&T Bank, NASDAQ, Ally, First Horizon. Wednesday after hours, that's where earnings really start to get exciting. You have Tesla, Netflix, Lam Research, Las Vegas Sands, Alcoa, Discover, Columbia Bank, Zions Bank Corp, Steel Dynamics, and Crown Castle. Obviously, some of the big ones: Tesla, Netflix, Las Vegas Sands, Alcoa, Discover. You really want to be watching these specific sectors here, right? Like a Alcoa could affect like a Palantir, right? Like a other data analytics software. Discover, it's going to affect American Express. They report on Friday. It's going to affect maybe some of your banks. It just depends. Some of the banks that have not reported yet. Some of your small and regional banks probably, as well as other payment servicers. And then, Netflix, obviously, software streaming, Tesla, obviously, automakers, even AI. For that matter. So, that's kind of the game plan we have for earnings. Thursday pre-market, you are going to have AT&T, American Airlines, TSMC, the Blackstone Group, Nokia, KeyBank, Truist Bank, Union Pacific, and Snap on Thursday after hours. Intuitive Surgical, Western Alliance Bank, that was one that almost went under. Who knows what kind of position they're in, so be watching that one. WD-40, pretty much it. Friday, American Express and Huntington are the only names that really stand out to me, especially American Express. These credit card companies are going to be pretty important to see just how the consumer is doing. What do balances look like? Are they starting to really, not make their payments? I think those are all questions that we have. We just don't know. We don't have too much clarity on that. So hopefully we do get some good news there. Now, if you take a look at retail sales, the big story of the day today, retail sales month over month for the month of September came in at 0.7%. Consensus was around 0.3%. Last month's retail sales number was also revised up 1 point to 0.8%. So this was over 100% better than the expectations. What did this do? Well, it caused yields to rise. 30-year Treasury yields up 7.5 basis points. 10-year Treasury yields up almost 13 basis points. Stocks in the beginning of the trading day today, at least, were actually soaring higher. You were down about 1.5% on the NASDAQ at one point. Stocks soared higher. Now they're kind of trending downwards, and it looks kind of ominous heading into the last couple of hours here of trading. But by and large, the market's kind of brushed it off. I think a lot of this does have to do with the Israel situation. There's just not escalation today. It does not look like. So that is helping out the markets, I would imagine. TLT down 1.26%. USO down 0.5%. GLD is up actually 0.25%, which is showing a little bit of that fear move, but not. It's just nothing compared to the move in bonds. So, bonds are not saying we're fearful on this global conflict. Gold is saying maybe we're a little fearful on this global conflict. Something I am personally watching pretty dang closely. And again, in regards to that, we don't have much news in regards to the specific conflict itself. This is pretty good news, I would say. It says, let's see. Israeli military says next step might not be ground incursion. What does that mean? They're just going to level Gaza City? Are they just going to, bomb the crap out of it? I don't know. Okay, that's a tough one. So, we'll just have to wait and see. Nobody knows what the heck that means. But I think the markets did take it a little bit more favorably. Yeah, it's a very strange situation. It looks like it's going to take a while for this to play out. Biden looks like he is going over there to Israel here probably overnight tonight. Going to start delegations talking, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow morning, Wednesday, which is after midnight tonight. He is going to be in the country. So a very short-term notice on this trip. We'll see what comes out of it. Either, all hell breaks loose after the trip, after he's gone, probably by Thursday, or the situation could die down a lot and the markets will get over it and go back to business as usual. So that's going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.